Right now at 5, authorities in Cedar County identify one more suspect in connection to a murder.
We've got another morning with some patchy fog to start us off. We'll be partly cloudy and a little bit warmer, and we've got rain chances on the way. We'll talk about all that coming up.
And birds of a feather flock together as Fostering Hope raises money using flamingos.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's another chilly start for us out there, but again, could be a lot worse. We've had some cold spells in May on occasion, but we do have warmer weather on the way for us today, and we have more of those much needed rain chances on the way as well. We're also dealing with another foggy morning today as well, so a lot going on. Let's take a look first at the rain chances that we've got coming in. So this is the future track. We could see a stray shower or two later this afternoon. I think that most of us are going to stay dry. We'll have those partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, and temperatures are going to warm quite nicely. As we head into tomorrow morning, here we are at 5 a.m. and off to the west, here comes our next round of showers and thunderstorms across the area. By 9 a.m., overspreading parts of southeast Kansas into northeast Oklahoma, and these will continue to shift off to the east-southeast by noon. More of these scattered showers and thunderstorms, and again, this just kind of continues throughout our day on Friday. There's the possibility we could see a strong storm, maybe two, but overall, we're just looking at some general thunderstorms. Now, as we head into the evening hours, these storms will start to move off to the east-southeast, and as we go later into the day, those thunderstorm chances are out of here. And we've got that patchy fog to contend with again. As you can see, we've got some reduced visibilities in a number of communities out there from southwest Missouri, northeast Oklahoma, even back into southeast Kansas. So if you're commuting out there this morning, make sure you slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. Rain chances again tomorrow really pick up. They'll last with us through the majority of the day, and as we get into the evening hours, they will begin to taper off. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good so far. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh, and our camera at 7th and range line looking fine so far as well. Sitting at 58 degrees, got some clear skies out there, a calm breeze, so again, not too bad, but chilly for us. We look around the region, we got 55 Fort Scott, Iola, 57 Parsons, 59 Chetopa, Miami, and some 57s in Neosho and Carthage. We get our day started, again, similar to yesterday, some patchy fog out there. Otherwise be partly cloudy, pushing into the low 70s by late morning as we trend much warmer for us today. Highs today pushing closer to 80 degrees. And we'll be in between partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day. And as we head into this evening, again, a little chilly, lower 60s, upper 50s. Clouds begin to increase, though, as we head into the overnight hours ahead of tomorrow's thunderstorm chances. And that keeps us cool as well. We're looking upper 60s for highs. But that still sets the stage for this absolutely beautiful weekend. Temperatures in the 70s, partly cloudy. Great day for the Memorial Run. Great day to get things done if you need to. As we head into next week, still expecting temperatures back into the lower 80s, and thunderstorm chances return by midweek next week. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. 2 people in Montgomery County, Kansas are behind bars after officers allegedly found more than 70 malnourished animals. 2 Coffeyville suspects were taken into custody and charged with animal cruelty. The probable cause statement says they found malnourished animals, including dogs, cats, birds, rabbits, and more. Now, authorities say they were in poor condition without access to food or clean water. Dead animals were also found on the property. No word yet on the suspects' names. Authorities have charged a Riverton, Kansas man accused of shooting at a family member multiple times. The suspect is 37-year-old Joshua Ferguson. Investigators say he shot at a relative on Tuesday, but no one was hit. Law officers say they found Ferguson hiding in Webb City. Charges against him include attempted second-degree murder. Cedar County, Missouri police say they identified one more suspect in connection to the death of Ginger Lynn Shoemaker. Authorities say a probable cause suggests Aries Appleby was aware of the death of Shoemaker and failed to make a police report. They are requesting a charge for abandonment of corpse without notifying authorities. The Cedar County Sheriff's Office says the 2 men responsible for the death of Shoemaker allegedly killed her with a lethal dose of fentanyl. Sean Wickstrom of Stockton and Christopher Appleby both face involuntary manslaughter charges and abandoning a corpse. Police say the pair injected a lethal dose of fentanyl, killing her back in February. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Fostering Hope of Southwest Missouri helps support and serve our local foster care community. They currently have a variety of programs that are in place to support, encourage, and provide resources to children in care, foster families, and agency workers. KOAM's Carrie Worthen joins us live in studio this morning with more on this story. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Tanya. This is the 6th year friends can flock a business or house. Volunteers place plastic flamingos in their yard to show support. You are giving Fostering Hope. Proceeds this year go to around 25 seniors in foster care graduating from high school.
So every spring we do this flamingo event, and we ask people to sign up and flock their friend's yard, and the money that we raise through this supports our mission.
Fostering Hope has 2 caring closet locations to help provide basic needs for children in foster care in Carl Junction and Sheldon, Missouri.
Well, thank you, Carrie. If you'd like to flock someone's yard, how do you go about getting that done?
Well, I'm going to put an article up on our website, so if you want to go to koamnewsnow.com, I will have a link to how you can do that.
All right, easy as that. Go to our website. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Baxter Springs hopes to keep alive and go to state as they take on Columbus. We'll have if they manage to do it in sports. Plus, Senator Feinstein is back in Congress after health issues. However, she is answering questions that has people concerned. And if your older dog is having trouble sleeping, it could be a sign of dementia. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
The area's largest garden center, you'll find options to fit your yard, soil type, and style perfectly. Come see us on East 4th in Pittsburgh.
Well, last night was championship night at the 3A regional softball tournament in Columbus. We have 2 semifinal games and a championship game. In the first semifinal game of the day, top-seeded Titans face the Baxter Springs Lions. Columbus looks for a little revenge in this one after the Lions knocked them out in the semifinals last season, so back at it again this year. Go to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Titans. Katie Simpson hits it deep and off the fence. Excuse me, Maddie Garcia scores. Play at the plate is not in time. RBI triple by Simpson makes it 2-0 Titans. Later in the inning, KT Lopp is keeping alive the second inning rally. She drives this ball into the gap. Aubrey Saporito and Katie Simpson score. Titans end up going up 4-0 after the 2-run double. Bottom of the third now, 5-0 Columbus. Katie Lopp not done yet. Squeaks this by the second baseman. 2-run score on the single. Lopp finishes the day with 5 RBIs. Titans take a 7-0 lead. Top of the 7th now. Last chance for Baxter Springs. This one is popped up. Katie Simpson makes the catch, and that is the ball game. Titans defeat Baxter Springs 10-1 and move on to the regional title game. Other side of the bracket, defending state champion Frontenac faces Girard in the semifinals. So starting out in the top of the first, Frontenac's Avery Johnson gets the strikeout with runners on to end the inning. In the bottom of the first, no score. Leah McGowan throws out the runner trying to steal. The look on her face says it all. She knows she made a great play. Bottom of the third, Annie Lee hits this to third base. Throw to first, not in time. She's safe. Play at the plate, not in time. Play at third again, not in time. Everyone is safe. 1-0 Raiders lead. Later in the inning, Abby Beeman goes opposite field, and that falls in for an RBI single. Frontenac goes up 2-0. Frontenac wins it 10-0 to move on to face Columbus in the regional championship. So now to the championship. The top 2 seeds, Frontenac and Columbus, battle for a spot at the state. Titans lead 1-0 in the fourth, but here Mia Brown lifts it high and deep to left center in the parking lot for the solo shot. Brown ties the game up at 1. After that, Gracie Major locked it down in the circle. Strikeout there for Major. We go to extra innings, tied at 1. Top of the 8th, Raiders have one on and one out. This is one of the best plays we've ever seen on a softball field. Katie Mooney, unbelievable diving grab on the bunt attempt, then gets the double play on the throw to second. Look, everybody fired up. Titans come to bat with a chance to win it. 2 on here for Gracie Major, and she delivers. Liner in the gap. Aubrey Saporito comes in, and that's the ball game. Columbus walks it off to beat Frontenac 2-1. Gracie Major gets the walk-off single to put the Titans in the state tournament.
Gracie always stays cool. That's one thing, she'll keep her head. And I knew whenever she was coming up to bat, I knew we were going to get it done. It feels amazing. It feels amazing. The girls have worked so hard. They deserve it.
Well, on the baseball side last night, it's also championship night at the regional tournament in Girard. There are 4 teams remaining coming into the day, all of them out of the CNC. First semifinal game, pair of good teams here with the top-seeded Columbus Titans facing Girard. First inning, Titans straight to work. Brett Hamilton drops it into left. Runner scores. Hamilton safely into second. Columbus goes up 3-0 after 1. Top of the second, Seth Stover cruising on the mound for the Titans. Strikeout there ends the inning. So we're going to go to the third now. Stover does damage with the bat, smokes a liner into right center. Great effort out there, but the ball gets by. Stover waved around third. He slides in for the inside the park home run. Titans get the lead to 4-0 after 3. Columbus wins and moves on to the regional championship 8-1. On the other side, it's Frontenac and Galena for a spot in the regional championship game. In that one, it's the Raiders cruising by the Bulldogs in the end, 9-0. So it always going to come down to these two, Frontenac and Columbus, meeting for a spot in the 3A state tournament. Titans up 8-2 in the top of the 5th. Frontenac making it interesting. Columbus tries to turn the double play. Cal Turlip beats it out for an infield hit. RBI makes it 8-3. Bottom of the 6th, Titans up 8-5. Holt Ungerauer hits this one deep into the sun. It goes over the fence. It is his second home run of the game. Titans lead it 9-5. Last chance for Frontenac going into the top of the 7th. This one gets popped up to the outfield. Catch is made, and that is your ball game. Columbus beats Frontenac 9-5. Titans are headed back to state for the 2nd consecutive year.
This is awesome. You know, back-to-back, these kids deserved it. You know, they've worked hard. These 11 seniors, and, you know, today we knew it was going to be a tough day to go through Girard and Frontenac, 2 tough opponents in our regional, because our regional is so dang tough. And they overcame it, and they played their hearts out today.
It feels good to win it. I mean, winning it last year was pretty special, but we knew we didn't finish the job at state, so our motto's been finish all year. So to get back there, it's going to be fun to see what we can do when we get there.
Well, still to come, the ship that inspired a movie, and of course, you know, that one Celine Dion song, is now visible in a whole new way. And we've got another check of that forecast and our incoming storm chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 on a Thursday morning. We're dealing with another round of patchy fog across the area. This time it's a little more widespread. We've got it going from southwest Missouri, northeast Oklahoma, into southeast Kansas. So anywhere you're traveling this morning, do watch out for some of that patchy, dense fog. And just on my particular route here to the station, most of it was clear, but here and there I'd run into spots where it was pretty dense out there. Now, we also have rain chances as we head into tomorrow, so we're going to take a look at that. Today's looking to be a pretty good day. And as we head into early tomorrow morning, here we are at 5 a.m. off to the west, here comes our shower and thunderstorm chances. And as we all know, these are much needed shower and thunderstorm chances. And here we are at 9 o'clock, overspreading much of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma. By noon, overspreading the majority of the area, even by 2 o'clock. Still holding on to those scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. There's the remote possibility we could see a strong storm or two, mainly in northeast Oklahoma and the southwest Missouri. But in all honesty, that risk is relatively low. We're looking more at just general thunderstorms. By 5, though, we're starting to see some clearing out there. And as we go through the evening, these storms roll off to the southeast, and we will be done with them by late evening tomorrow. So, of course, our best rain chances during the day, and then again by evening, they start to roll on out of here. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good so far. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. We are sitting on a bit of a chilly side here. We're back into the upper 50s, 58 in Joplin. Calm winds, clear skies out there. And around the area, we got 55 Fort Scott, Iola, 57 Parsons, 59 Miami, and 57 in Neosho. We get our morning started again like yesterday, dealing with some of that patchy fog through the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, low 70s by late morning. We go into the afternoon, bit warmer, closer to 80 out there under partly to mostly cloudy skies. And as we head into this evening, ahead of the storms, clouds increasing, not bad, and temperatures dropping back to right around 60. Well, no doubts about the cognitive abilities of 89-year-old Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein. It's only been a week since she returned to the Capitol Hill after a 3-month absence. But as Jessica Dean reports, Feinstein's answers to reporters' questions are renewing doubts about her ability to serve.
Good morning, Senator. Senator Dianne Feinstein's fitness to serve under a fresh round of scrutiny since she returned to the Senate following a months-long absence to recover from shingles. The 89-year-old has faced similar questions about her ability to serve in the past several years. But those questions and even criticism have intensified in recent weeks as some on Capitol Hill and beyond wonder if she's healthy enough to continue working.
What made you decide that now is the time to come back to the Senate? I felt better.
On Tuesday, Los Angeles Times reporter Benjamin Oreskes recorded this exchange between himself and Feinstein.
What have you heard?
What have I heard about what?
About your return. How have they felt about your return?
No, I haven't been gone.
Okay.
You should follow me. I haven't been gone. I've been working.
You've been working from home is what you're saying?
No, I've been here. I've been voting. Please, either no or don't know.
He later said she may have been confused about his question. But Feinstein is far from the first senator to draw such questions. Senator Strom Thurmond served until he was 100. West Virginia Senator Robert Byrd died in office at 92. Both men face similar concerns from their colleagues. Senate Majority Whip and chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee had this to say when asked if he's confident she's fit to serve.
I can't be the judge of that, but I will tell you that she has to make that decision for herself and her family as to going forward.
Durbin and others have refused to say if they think she should resign.
She's a dear friend. As a friend, you can see she's hurting.
She's my friend, and the only thing I can say is that she's a wonderful, beautiful person, tremendous public servant.
Her prolonged absence on the Judiciary Committee has meant Democrats did not have the votes to move some nominees out of committee.
We're glad she's back, and she was present for key votes in the committee last week and on the floor.
In recent years, Feinstein has either been forced to give up or has voluntarily given up powerful positions. Senate Democrats denied her the powerful Judiciary Committee chairmanship in 2021 following her performance in the confirmation hearing of Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Feinstein also passed up the position of serving as president pro tem of the Senate in January due to health issues.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. What should be the age limit for members of Congress? Should it be 60, 65, 70, 75, or maybe some other age? Well, we want to hear from you, so make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Job done right.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Topping Health Watch this morning, if you are pregnant and use any form of cannabis product, you may want to consider stopping. A new study found a significant health impact of marijuana use on fetal development as early as the beginning of pregnancy. And that's according to the study published Tuesday in the journal Frontiers in Pediatrics. Marijuana use can harm fetal development in the first trimester before many women even know they're pregnant. Well, if you're suffering from depression, you're not alone. A new report from Gallup finds that depression is more widespread than ever in the U.S. More than 1 in 6 adults say they are depressed or receiving treatment for depression. That's a 7% jump from 2015 when Gallup started polling the topic. As far as age groups go, younger adults reported the highest rates of depression. Nearly a quarter say they are currently depressed. High blood pressure and good cholesterol could be linked to Alzheimer's disease. A new study that looked at more than 440,000 DNA samples found people with genes that cause higher systolic blood pressure and higher HDL cholesterol levels also had a slightly higher chance of developing Alzheimer's. Scientists are not sure why, but they think HDL cholesterol may upset the balance of a protein they suspect plays a role in dementia. Older dogs that have trouble sleeping could have dementia. Researchers say just like people who have Alzheimer's disease, dogs with cognitive dysfunction experience insomnia and sleep disruptions. Scientists at North Carolina State's College of Veterinary Medicine are using the same technology on dogs that sleep clinics use with people. They found dogs that did worse on memory tests also had less REM and deep sleep, just like people. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another chilly start across the 4 states and another foggy start as well for some. We'll take another look at the forecast and our rain chances when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, a Baxter Springs teacher retires after 50 years.
Got another chilly start for us and some more patchy fog out there. We'll talk about that and our next round of rain coming up.
And Frank Fletcher Subaru in Joplin donates $20,000 to the Ronald McDonald House.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we're on Thursday. One more day until the weekend. Looking forward to that. Got the Joplin Memorial Run this weekend. We got a gorgeous weekend ahead of us and an opportunity to catch up on some of that yard work if you've had to put it off due to the rain.
You almost forgot the 4 State Farm Show.
And that's right. We have the 4 State Farm Show. In fact, we'll be live at noon, 5, and 6 there tomorrow. So you'll have to make sure you come out and see us. However, right now, seeing is a little difficult in some areas as we've got some patchy fog once again overspreading the area. Now today, it's a little more widespread across all corners of the 4 states. So do watch out for those reduced visibilities and also be aware you may run into some patchy dense fog in between some of these areas as well. So take it easy and make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. We have rain coming in as we head into tomorrow. So let's show you that. We go into this evening. Clouds, of course, will begin to increase ahead of the showers and thunderstorms, and then by tomorrow morning, here it comes, 5 o'clock, our western counties, and it will continue to spread through the area through the morning, afternoon, and into the afternoon hours. There's a remote possibility of a strong storm or two, but otherwise, we're just looking at some much-needed rainfall across the region. As we head into the evening, though, those showers and storms will start to clear on out of here, so you see where those precipitation chances, of course, pick up during the day, and as we get into the evening, they begin to fall off. Right now, MoDOT camera, 20th in range line. We are looking good so far, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. And we're not looking too bad from our camera at 7th in range line. Got some clouds out there, otherwise not bad. A little chilly, 58 in Joplin. Temperatures across the region, again, a bit of a chilly start, but otherwise not too bad. Lots of 57s in southeast Kansas, Yates Center, Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, Chatopa, also Miami and Neosho. As we head into the morning, again, some patchy fog to contend with, otherwise partly cloudy, warmer, low 70s by late morning. We head into the afternoon, highs pushing closer to 80, partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area, and then clouds increase this evening ahead of our storm chances, and we drop back down to about 60. We'll have another look at your complete forecast here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. A teacher in Baxter Springs, Kansas is retiring after 50 years of nurturing the minds of kids. Vicki O'Neill has worked for Lincoln Elementary School her entire career, starting in 1973. She says stepping away from education won't be easy, but there's already some big retirement plans ahead of her.
I'd like to do more volunteer work. I'd like to give back to the community that's given so much to me over the years. My husband and I want to travel. We've got a trip to Finland planned and see the Northern Lights. Some of those bucket list things that you kind of put off.
Vicki O'Neill says she's been teaching so long, she's taught the grandchildren of some of her first students. That's amazing. Full Tilt Cannabis Company in Myoma, Oklahoma was inspected April 27th by the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority, which claimed the company did not properly maintain records and tag products. The company was suspended, but an Ottawa County judge overturned that suspension. On Tuesday, the local business, OMA, and their attorneys appeared at the Ottawa County Courthouse for a hearing on the matter.
This impacts businesses all across the state of Oklahoma, and what we have to understand is that with regards to this one client, the OMA emergency suspended their license and put 60-something employees out of business. It was all of those employees were sent home from work. We were able to get the emergency suspension lifted by this court, but at the end of the day, they've only been able to reemploy about 30-something of those employees.
We reached out to OMA concerning the lawsuit. They told us they do not comment on pending litigation. A statement on the authority's website says out of more than 12,000 licensees, around half of 1% have been issued emergency orders. Both parties will meet again in court on June 8th. Well, Fostering Hope of Southwest Missouri helps support and serve our local foster care community. They currently have a variety of programs that are in place to support, encourage, and provide resources to children in care, foster families, and agency workers. KOAM's Carrie Worthen joins us live in studio with more on the fundraising program for this organization. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Tanya. This is the 6th year Friends Can Flock a Business or House. Volunteers place plastic flamingos in your yard to show the support you are giving Fostering Hope. Proceeds this year go to around 25 seniors in foster care graduating from high school.
So every spring we do this flamingo event, and we ask people to sign up and flock their friend's yard, and the money that we raise through this supports our mission.
Fostering Hope has 2 caring closet locations to help provide basic needs for children in foster care in Carl Junction and Sheldon, Missouri.
All right, thank you, Carrie. So who actually does the placing of the flamingos if you want to flock somebody's yard?
So they have volunteers they call flamingo wranglers, and so they volunteer their time to go put the flamingos in people's yards or businesses' yards. And they stay there for 24 hours. Sometimes they stay for 48, but then they go back and they pick them up, and hopefully they get to place them again in other people's yards.
All right, and how do you go about getting those placed?
You can go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, and you can find the link to purchase, or donate, I should say, donate to put flamingos in your yard. And I'm working on that right now, so it's not there yet, but it will be there in about 5 minutes.
All right, thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Well, Frank Fletcher Subaru in Joplin is continuing its partnership with the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 States by making a big donation. On Wednesday, the dealership's employees presented a donation of $20,000 to the house. Money comes from last year's Subaru Share the Love event. For every vehicle sold, the dealership set aside money for a local charity. All that ended up totaling $20,000 to help families in need. The family of one of the employees has benefited from the Ronald McDonald House themselves.
We were cared for. There was transportation provided. There was a room provided. There was food provided. So it was easy for everyone who stayed there to focus more on their families that are in the hospital than trying to figure out everything else.
The dealership has partnered with the Ronald McDonald House for 9 years and has raised more than $140,000. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is improving rural homelessness by funding local communities. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with the city of Pittsburgh about how it hopes to tackle homelessness.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development awarded the City of Pittsburgh Public Housing Authority with housing vouchers. The city sees this as an opportunity to improve the homeless situation.
Because this is a direct referral program, voucher program, so the individuals that are seeking these vouchers, they will have to go through a service agency and be referred to our housing office for those.
One of those agencies is the Wesley House, the only homeless day shelter in town.
We are often kind of their first step when they are experiencing homelessness or when they're new to homelessness. We provide safety net services. We have meals, showers, laundry.
The Wesley House assesses a person's vulnerability before referring them to the Public Housing Authority. The most vulnerable people are priority, but the number keeps increasing.
Even this week, we have seen a lot of new people come in, and we do our best to get them assessed and meet their immediate needs. So
for individuals who may not have the correct documentation for housing, with these vouchers, it will allow them to start the process of getting housing while they still work on getting the correct documentation.
People come to us, they have no ID, no social security card, no birth certificate, and Community Health Center has been a great asset in getting those documents.
Residents have mixed opinions on the vouchers.
You would think the landlords just want to go to HUD because then that's guaranteed rent for them.
I think it's definitely a positive to help those people in need that are on the streets, whether it's homelessness long-term or falling on hard times short-term, getting them back on their feet and getting them the resources they need.
Really, it's just to keep the rich and the poor. But did I just say that? Oh, my bad.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The 5 stability vouchers are in addition to 15 emergency housing vouchers the Housing Authority received in July of 2021. Well, this morning we're discussing an age limit on Congress.
Senator Dianne Feinstein's fitness to serve under a fresh round of scrutiny since she returned to the Senate following a months-long absence to recover from shingles. The 89-year-old has faced similar questions about her ability to serve in the past several years.
In recent years, Feinstein has either been forced to give up or has voluntarily given up powerful positions. Senate Democrats denied her the powerful Judiciary Committee chairmanship in 2021 following her performance in the confirmation hearing of Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. What should be the age limit for members of Congress? You've got a few different options out there. So far, fairly evenly split. 19% of you saying 60, 27% of you saying 65, 70, or 75. And you also have an other option as well. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and take part in discussion on our Facebook page.
Pretty split decision at this point.
It is. It is.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, one man goes from chef to something a little more bubbly.
Plus, a Nigerian chef tries to break a world record. We'll have the latest.
You're watching. Topping World Watch, a Nigerian chef logs a monstrous number of hours cooking in a bid to set a Guinness World Record. Hilda Baki cooked lots of food on very tired legs and arms for 100 hours. Now, she's trying to set a new Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon by one individual. Baki began cooking last Thursday through Monday evening, hoping to surpass the current Guinness World Record of 87 hours and 45 minutes set in 2019 by an Indian chef. Baki took 5-minute breaks per hour. She says she's cooked for marginalized Nigerian women and to show what determined Nigerian youth can do. The new 3D scan of the wreckage of the Titanic is letting us see the world's most famous ocean liner in a new way. Bradley Blackburn has the images and how they could lead to new answers about its demise.
The ghostly wreckage of the Titanic has never been more clear. The first full 3D scan shows every angle, from the rusted bow to the captain's bridge and wheelhouse.
You call this a digital twin of the ship?
Yeah, this is something we're not used to because it's new technology. All these scans together allow us to put together an absolute digital replica in every detail, every rivet of the Titanic. And that's extraordinary.
It was created with 700,000 images captured by remote-controlled subs last summer. The scan eliminates the distortion of the murky water, showing the full scale of the shipwreck and small details like the serial number on a propeller. It could also offer new clues about the disaster that claimed more than 1,500 lives. Come on! Even Hollywood's most famous depiction was based on assumptions of how the ship broke apart.
We don't even know if she hit it along the starboard side, as shown in all the movies. She might have grounded on the iceberg. And this photogrammetry model is one of the first major steps to driving the Titanic story toward evidence-based research and not speculation.
Time is running out because the wreckage is deteriorating rapidly in the deep sea. But this 3D scan now freezes the Titanic in time again. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The creators of the scan are working on a documentary film exploring their findings. It could be released next year. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:48, almost 5:49 on this Thursday morning, and the fog has returned. It's just not wanting to let go of us. It wants to be our friend. Unfortunately, it's a dangerous friend as it reduces visibilities, and you can see we've got reduced visibilities across the area, mainly now confined in southwest Missouri, parts of northeast Oklahoma, but still some reduced visibilities in the southern portions of southeast Kansas. So if you're out there, watch out for that patchy, dense fog. Now, aside from the fog, today looking to be an absolutely perfect day out there. A few extra clouds here and there, but not bad. However, as we head into tomorrow morning, that's when our next round of that much-needed rain rolls in. And the good news is, at least at this point, this rain coming in without bringing severe weather with it. So here we are at 5 a.m. tomorrow, just entering our western counties. We go into 9 a.m., overspreading southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma, just starting to cross into southwest Missouri by noon. Just about all of us getting in on some much-needed rain and thunderstorm activity. As we head into the afternoon, there's the possibility in southwest Missouri and parts of northeast Oklahoma, we could see a stray strong storm or two. So we're talking maybe some small hail, gusty winds, but that's going to be extraordinarily isolated. We're looking right now at just some good old-fashioned thunderstorms bringing much-needed rain. By the time, about 12 hours after all of it starts, we start to see it winding down across the area. And as we head later into the evening, that rain moves on out of here. So you see on the rain chances in our 7 to 7 where we've got them really picking up, and then by about 7 tomorrow evening we start to see those chances dropping off. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, we are looking good out there so far. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, and our camera at 7th and range line showing some clouds out there, but otherwise not bad. Cool though, 56 in Joplin, and some chilly temperatures across the area this morning. So we're at 55 Iola, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, 57 Chetopa, Miami, Neosho, and 56 in Carthage. Got that patchy fog to contend with this morning for some of us, otherwise partly cloudy, low 70s by late morning. Partly to mostly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures today much better, heading close to 80. This evening, around 60 for our low. Clouds increasing as we go through the evening and overnight hours. And of course, we got the thunderstorms tomorrow. Highs in the upper 60s. Great day Saturday for farm show, memorial run, and through the weekend to get some yard work done. Temperatures warming into the low 80s as we go through next week. And by Wednesday, we start to see thunderstorm chances return to the area. Let's check your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, a man in North Carolina is turning soapy water into awe-inspiring experiences. Steve Langley calls himself a bubbleologist and is the ringmaster of a soap bubble circus starring himself, where he makes bubble masterpieces for his audiences. But it didn't start off that way. Langley originally planned to be a chef, and when that didn't pan out, he and one of the other cooks decided to become jugglers, forming the duo the Fettuccine Brothers. Langley spent 2 decades juggling, even appearing on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and setting 9 Guinness juggling records. One day, he decided to reinvent himself, and his passion for bubbles came to life.
So it involves science, chemistry. You've got to learn about the soap. This brings up a rule of bubbles. Wherever 3 bubbles intersect, they always form a perfect 120-degree angle. It's mind-numbingly cool. Worked at a really slow restaurant, and so myself and one of the other cooks ended up juggling whisks and knives.
All right then. In addition to his soap bubble circus, Langley is also training apprentice performers to help keep up with the demand for bubble performances. That would be really cool to watch. We'll be right back. Well, a playful panda went so deep into a stretch that she lost her balance and tumbled out of a bathtub while taking a bath at a research center in southwest China's Sichuan province. Looks like she's just having fun there. The scene was captured on camera on May 2nd and released on May 7th via the multimedia platform iPanda. There she goes. Stretch it out there. The starring panda, well, her name is Duban. She was born July 2020 at the China Conservation and Research Research Center for Giant Pandas. What a sweetie. Well, astronomers have found an Earth-sized planet that is likely covered in volcanoes. The exoplanet is called LP79118d. It's located about 90 light years from Earth and orbits a small red dwarf star along with 2 other known planets in the crater constellation. Researchers believe the planet may experience eruptions with the same frequency as Jupiter's moon, which is currently the most volcanically active place in our solar system. But they say there's no direct evidence to prove volcanoes exist across this exoplanet. They plan to continue to observe the new find, hopefully gather more data as astronomers continue the search for potentially habitable Earth-sized planets.
Well, we've got some patchy fog to deal with through this morning for some of us. Otherwise, we'll be partly cloudy and warmer as we head through the late morning, low 70s. Going into this afternoon, that means we'll be warmer today as well. We're looking to be near 80 degrees out there, partly to mostly cloudy skies. As we head into this evening, clouds increase across the area. We drop back down to about 60 ahead of our thunderstorm chances. That'll be from roughly 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. That keeps us a little cooler, upper 60s. Great weekend ahead of us, partly cloudy in the 70s. Temperatures continue to warm next week into the lower 80s, and we see additional thunderstorm chances as we begin to head to midweek next week. We'll be right back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, a rollover crash in Jasper County ejects the driver 100 feet from his vehicle.
We got another chilly and, for some of us, foggy start for our Thursday. We'll talk about when the fog clears, how warm it's going to be, and when our next round of rain gets here coming up.
And dreams do come true. A 3-year-old Joplin boy will soon head to Japan to compete in an international cycling competition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Buck. What you doing there, Chris?
Well, I was moving my coffee. It's a little full and I spilled it on my leg and it was a little bit hot. But it's good coffee. Ron, our producer, makes this coffee. It's really good coffee. I don't drink much coffee other than my own. So this is good coffee, except now my leg seems to be enjoying it. So that means I should be able to run faster, right? Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. We are also dealing with some fog out there for some of us across the area, so I would not recommend running or driving any faster in the fog as it's kind of overspread more of the area compared to the last few days. Last couple of days, we have seen the fog confined really to southwest Missouri, but as you can see here, we've got some reduced visibilities across more of the area, and there is some patchy dense fog out there as well that we need to be aware of. As we go through today, we're actually looking at a pretty decent day. We'll have some partly to mostly cloudy skies, much warmer. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, about 5 o'clock, we start to see those much needed shower and thunderstorm chances return to the area. And we go through the morning, this will gradually overspread the entire area from west to east, and it will persist with us through the evening hours tomorrow as well. So the majority of our Friday we'll spend with some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area before they eventually begin to clear out into the evening. And you can see with the rain chances where they pick up through the day, and by the evening they do begin to clear out. Let's skip ahead real quick to a look at temperatures around the area and what we're looking at today. 55 Pittsburgh, 56 Joplin, Parsons, 57 Chautauqua, Miami, and 55 Neosho, Carthage. Dealing with that patchy fog through the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, warmer, low 70s by late morning. We head into the afternoon. We've got highs pushing near 80 today, partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. And as we head into this evening, not too bad. Clouds do begin to increase ahead of the storms, and we drop back to a low around 60. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in a couple minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. A violent rollover crash in Jasper County, Missouri ejects the driver from the car on Wednesday at about 6:15 p.m. Authorities responded to reports of a serious crash just north of Kafer Road on County Road 240. Troopers say the vehicle was traveling north on County Road 240, left the roadway and overturned. According to neighbors, the car overturned at least 6 times into a field before coming to rest on the passenger side. The driver was ejected approximately 100 feet from the car. He was transported non-emergency to a Joplin hospital. Cedar County, Missouri police say they have identified one more suspect in connection to the death of Ginger Lynn Shoemaker. Authorities say a probable cause suggests Aries Appleby was aware of the death of Shoemaker and failed to make a police report. They are requesting a charge for abandonment of corpse without notifying authorities. Cedar County Sheriff's Office says the 2 men responsible for the death of Shoemaker allegedly killed her with a lethal dose of fentanyl. Sean Wickstrom of Stockton and Christopher Appleby both face involuntary manslaughter charges and abandoning a corpse. Police say the pair injected a lethal dose of fentanyl, killing her back in February. Authorities have charged a Riverton, Kansas man accused of shooting at a family member multiple times. The suspect is 37-year-old Joshua Ferguson. Investigators say he shot at a relative on Tuesday, but no one was hit. Law officers say they found Ferguson hiding in Webb City. Charges against him include attempted second-degree murder. And 2 people in Montgomery County, Kansas are behind bars after officers allegedly find more than 70 malnourished animals. 2 Coffeyville suspects were taken into custody and charged with animal cruelty. The probable cause affidavit says they found malnourished animals, including dogs, cats, birds, rabbits, and more. Authorities say they were in poor condition without access to food or clean water. Dead animals were also found on the property. No word yet on the suspects' names. Well, this morning, President Biden is in Japan ahead of the G7 summit of world leaders, but much of his focus is still right here at home, with the default deadline just 2 weeks away. Jared Hill has the latest.
Today in Japan, President Biden's attention may be on international diplomacy, but with the Treasury's default deadline just 2 weeks away, debt ceiling talks at home are still a major focus.
I'm confident that we'll get the agreement on the budget, that America will not default.
The White House's 3 key negotiators worked late into the night with Speaker McCarthy and his team, trying to fine-tune a deal that would raise the debt ceiling and deliver spending cuts Republicans say are a must-have.
The last thing I'd want to have happen, Mr. President, that we'd be in the last week in trying to negotiate a debt ceiling.
One sticking point in negotiations, GOP lawmakers want new work requirements for people getting government assistance, like food stamps or Medicaid. A red line for progressives, but maybe not for President Biden.
I'm not going to accept any work requirements that's going to impact on medical health needs of people.
With the default clock ticking, some House Democrats are working on a backup plan, a procedural move that would force a vote on raising the ceiling.
The discharge petition is, it's utter balderdash. I think it's political theater.
That plan can't pass without Republican support. Jared Hill, CBS News.
I do appreciate you all coming.
Well, if the default does happen, Social Security benefits may be stalled. Service members might not get paid, and the fallout could impact 401ks and make it more expensive to borrow money. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, a Joplin 3-year-old has raised enough money to go to Japan and compete in a race. Silas McCain was selected as one of 10 representatives for Team USA in his age category for the Strider Bike World Cup. But since it's in Japan, his family needed to raise money for the trip. So the Alliance of Southwest Missouri stepped in to help them raise money to cover lodging, flights, meals, and registration fees. This week, they announced they've hit their fundraising goal of $7,500.
There's about 900 kids total from the age of 3 to 6 that participate in the World Cup. He was selected 1 out of 10 kids out of the United States that gets to participate. So we've been trying to raise funds just to get us to Japan, registration fee, lodging, and all of that.
Strider World Cup race takes place May 27th and the 28th. And we expect some pictures there. That'll be exciting. Well, a teacher in Baxter Springs, Kansas is retiring after 50 years of shaping the minds of kids. Vicki O'Neill has worked for Lincoln Elementary School her entire career, starting in 1973. Vicki says stepping away from educating won't be easy.
Very emotional. It's been a great day. I love the people here. They've been part of my life for the majority of my life, and but it's just bittersweet knowing this is the end. But there's a chapter ahead, you know, some new adventure that I'm going to have. I believe it's, you know, it's time for me to spend more time with my family, my husband, my grandkids, to travel and do other things.
Vicki says she's been teaching so long that she's taught the grandchildren of some of her first students. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News just in time for Memorial Day, we are headed to the Chef Anthony Grill Kitchen to barbecue some burgers and brats. Plus, a new study may mean new hope for women who've lost a child through miscarriage. We've got the details on a blood test that could provide clues to what went wrong. And Chris returns with another look at your forecast and what the 4 states can expect from weather this weekend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. But first, let's go ahead and take a live look from that Chef Anthony Grill Kitchen. There you are, Chef. Good to see you this morning. We're going to be joining you in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
Craving. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:11 on this Thursday now. We start dealing with some patchy fog across the area and some dense fog in some locations. So make sure you're slowing down and you're giving yourself time to get where you're going, because something I mentioned earlier, just on my commute from Joplin to the station here, most of the drive was clear. And then I hit 2 or 3 areas where the fog got dense enough I needed to slow down. You couldn't see very far. So watch out for that out there this morning. Now today is going to shape up to be a relatively good day across the area. It's going to be, as we head into this evening and overnight and tomorrow more so, that we're going to see thunderstorm chances return. And this is, again, much needed rainfall in the area. Here we are, 5 a.m., just moving into our western counties. And as the morning and day progress, this will continue to overspread the entire area. Here we are at noon, just about all of us getting in on some shower and thunderstorm activity out there. In the afternoon, we could see a stray strong storm or two with some small hail, maybe some gusty winds. We're not anticipating anything significant here, just general thunderstorms, but there is that possibility of a strong storm or two. By the time we head into the evening, we're going to start to see those showers clear on out of here. And if we take a look at our 7 to 7 rain chances, of course, they pick up while the activity is really here across the area. And then as the evening progresses, they continue to drop off quickly. MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line is looking good so far. And as we look at the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, we do have some fog out there this morning. Not very dense at this location, but just a reminder that there is some fog out there. Got some partly cloudy skies as we start our day. We are sitting at 56 in Joplin, the airport, reporting some fog on the north side of the city. Across the area, 54 Lamar, 55 Pittsburgh, 57 in Chanute, Chautauqua, Miami, and 55 Neosho and Monette. Got that fog. It's going to hold on for some of us through the morning, similar to yesterday. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, warmer, low 70s by late morning. We head into the afternoon. Of course, if we're warmer in the morning, that typically means we're warmer in the afternoon. Not always. We know how cold fronts work. We're looking at highs pushing near 80 degrees today. We'll have transitions between partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. As the evening moves on, there could be a stray shower or two out there, but I think, again, most of us remain dry. Clouds do increase, though, as we head through the evening, and we drop back down to about 60 for our overnight low. Then we head into tomorrow. The rain, the clouds, it's enough to keep us relatively cool. We're talking upper 60s. Some of us may make the lower 70s. For example, in southeast Kansas, as the rain starts to clear out later in the evening, Might get a little more sunshine, could warm up just a pinch, but otherwise upper 60s. Got a great day for the farm show, the Joplin Memorial Run on Saturday, 70, partly cloudy. Nice day Sunday to get some yard work done. Not that we want to, but we probably need to, 75. Not too bad Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures rising, upper 70s near 80. Temperatures continue to climb as we head through the rest of next week into the lower to mid 80s, but then we also see the return of those scattered thunderstorm chances with some more much needed rain moving into the area. We'll be right back after this with Chef Anthony from our patio doing a little barbecue grilling.
Sell real estate. Welcome back, just in time for Memorial Weekend. We're going to be grilling here this morning with Chef Anthony Fisher from Pittsburgh High School Culinary Arts Program, and we're not just grilling, we're grilling brats and we're grilling burgers today.
Yes, some of my favorites. Now, I'm really particular on my brats and my burgers. I like to know what goes into them, and that's why I love going to Simon Market, because that man has a mind like a steel trap.
Okay, so he's been doing some experimenting with different meats in the brats this year.
Yes, he's doing right now, he did a chicken pineapple for me, and he did a chicken jalapeno popper.
Ooh.
Brat, which is, all of them are just amazing. If you don't like pork, or you want something with a little bit different texture because you don't like the way brats come out, the chicken is the way to go for you, and they are so good.
Okay.
So we're going to talk a little bit. First off, we want to talk about getting our grill ready to go. I've had the grill on for about 10 minutes, and I closed the lid, let it burn off so that it's nice and hot, ready to go. And I always boil my brats beforehand. It gives the skin a nice snap, because our friends at Simon Market use a natural casing, and we need that.
So it's always a good idea to... So what happens if you don't boil them first, if you just throw them straight on the grill?
It takes forever to cook. You're going to end up burning them before you get them cooked all the way. This cooks them almost the majority of the way, so that you don't have to worry about that. But it also makes sure, like I said, it gives you the snap on that skin, on the skin of it, because it is natural intestine casing that you want. That's what gives brats their texture, their characteristics. And a lot of the ones that you buy at the grocery store have a synthetic casing.
Okay, so what we've got here, and how long did you boil them before you are putting them out?
They take about 3 minutes to boil.
3 minutes to boil, and you already...
The beauty of it is, if you're like the rest of us and you forget to take them out of the refrigerator or the freezer,
there you
can
go.
Put them in boiled. You can put them in.
A quick boil right there. Okay, so we've got a combination of the chicken jalapeno popper cheeses and the mango habanero pork.
Correct. These are mango habanero, and if you look at them, you can see the little specks of the habanero inside of them. And the chicken is a little bit more of a white texture to them, a little bit brighter in color, so you can easily identify them. But we're also going to be doing his pineapple brat, which is really, really good. It's not too sweet, just enough fruit inside of it to make it tangy. And we're going to do his classic Bavarian.
Okay, and then when we come back on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, we're going to be doing some beef patties too.
Yes, we're going to do my burgers. Yeah. I love the burgers.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. And then, of course, we're going to put it all together this morning. So how long are these going to be on the grill for?
These are going to go on the grill until I'm satisfied with the color on them, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, and we will show you what the finished product looks like when we come back on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Be sure to stick around. Topping Health Watch this morning, a new study from Columbia University found vaping nicotine is strongly tied to other substance use in young people, like binge drinking and marijuana use. Researchers looked at more than 50,000 teens across the country. Combined vaping and smoking were linked to an even greater likelihood for cannabis use and binge drinking. Well, getting regular exercise like biking, walking, even gardening and cleaning may decrease the risk of Parkinson's disease. A study in the online issue of Neurology found female participants who exercised the most had a 25% lower rate of developing the debilitating disease compared to those who exercised the least. Well, there's a new call for schools and parents to teach young children life-saving skills. Leading heart health organizations, including the American Heart Association, say children as young as 4 can learn how to call 911 in a medical emergency. By age 10 to 12, they should be able to administer CPR. In a statement, doctors say young children might not be strong enough to perform correct chest compressions, but they can still learn the basics on how to do it. They also urge parents to teach their young kids what 911 is, how to call it, and what their address is to direct emergency services to their home. And good news about good news. A study out of the UK found positive news stories can act as an emotional buffer against negative ones. Viewers who saw stories about human kindness after consuming bad news, like a terror attack, retained more beliefs about the goodness of others than viewers who only saw the bad stuff. That's why we try to put the good in your morning. A new study gives new hope to women who've suffered the heartbreak of miscarriage. And researchers say a blood test could reveal what went wrong. Tina Kraus reports.
6-month-old Arthur is a miracle to his mom, Rika Himmenson, who suffered 3 miscarriages before he was born.
When you see those 2 little lines on that little test, then you start dreaming, you start planning your family, you start imagining how is this baby.
Researchers in Denmark say an early blood test may unravel the secrets of pregnancy loss. They found taking a blood sample from the mother as early as the 5th week of pregnancy can determine whether the fetus had a chromosome abnormality.
We can actually use the same test that is used in ongoing pregnancies, but not used until week 10.
Danish gynecologist Henriette Savar Nielsen and her team have been doing blood tests on women who visited the emergency room for a miscarriage.
Then now we can start to ask the question, is it this, is it this, is it this?
The ongoing study, called Copenhagen Pregnancy Loss, has tested more than 1,700 women and aims to reveal the underlying cause and offer possible preventative treatments for the future.
That project gives me hope that fewer women have to go through what we went through.
Researchers believe their findings may ultimately help prevent 5% of the 30 million miscarriages women worldwide go through every year. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
It's estimated 1 in 10 women worldwide will experience a miscarriage in their lifetime, with the number even higher in countries where pregnancies occur later in life. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a pretty cool start out there this morning and some fog that we have to contend with. The fog just not wanting to let go, so we've got reduced visibilities in a number of locations this morning, so make sure you are slowing down out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. We got a pretty decent day today and rain chances increasing tomorrow. We'll take a full look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 6:30, pink flamingos on your lawn may seem a strange sight for the 4 states, but not for supporters of the foster care community. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more on this celebration of support.
We've got ourselves another chilly and somewhat foggy start to our Thursday morning. We'll talk about when the fog clears, how warm it'll be, and our rain chances coming up.
And the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development joins forces with the city of Pittsburgh to tackle rural homelessness.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:29. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's another chilly start for us out there this morning, but it's a great morning to do some barbecuing, and that's what you and Chef Anthony were doing earlier, and you will do so again on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 at 7 a.m. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. And we're dealing with some fog yet again across the area. You can see we've got some reduced visibilities in several locations across the area, including Grove, Independence, for example. So do be careful out there and watch out for that patchy dense fog. Now, our day today is actually shaping up to be pretty darn good. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, that's when our thunderstorms and showers will start to move in. Here we are at 5 a.m. Here come those showers and storms overspreading the area as we go through our Friday. And they'll be with us for the majority of our Friday with these scattered showers and storms. As we head into the afternoon, we look at the remote possibility of a strong storm or two, but for the most part, just general thunderstorms with much needed rainfall across the area. And as we head into the evening hours, these showers and storms will exit out of here rather quickly. So we take a look at the 7 to 7 on the precipitation chances, and you can see where they, of course, pick up during the day when we're going to see those storms, and then they quickly drop off as we head into the evening hours. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. We are looking good so far. A little bit of fog out there. Same with a little bit of fog from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. And off in the distance, you can see some fog out there. It's creating these low clouds just below the sun, and they'll start to burn off here in the next couple of hours. We're at 56 in Joplin, so a bit of a chilly start for us and for many of us across the area. 55 in Iola, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, 58 Chetopa, 57 Miami, at 56 in Neosho. Getting our morning started, we got that patchy fog to contend with. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, warmer, low 70s by late morning, and that means we'll be warmer later today, pushing near 80, partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area. And as we head into the evening, clouds will begin to increase ahead of our storm chances, and temperatures drop back to right around 60. We'll have another look at your forecast and how the weekend is shaping up here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Drivers in Cherokee County, Kansas may want to start planning a different route in the near future. Starting May 30th, KDOT plans to close a section of US 166-400 east of Baxter Springs. The closure will extend from 5 Mile Avenue to the K36 junction, with only local traffic allowed in areas outside the work zone. And KDOT plans to reconstruct that stretch on a new 4-lane alignment south of the current roadway. The realigned US 166 is expected to reopen later in the fall, weather permitting. Well, Fostering Hope of Southwest Missouri supports and serves our local foster care community. They currently have a variety of programs that are in place to support, encourage, and provide resources for children in care, as well as foster families and agency workers. KOAM's Carrie Worthen joins us in studio to tell us more about their current fundraising. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Tanya. Fostering Hope is a nonprofit in Southwest Missouri that exists to support and encourage all of those involved in the foster care community.
Foster care is so important, and just in Jasper County alone, we have nearly 500 kids in foster care at any given time. And we're a pretty small community, so to think about that number is pretty staggering.
Fostering Hope helps support and serve the local foster care community. This annual event allows them to raise money and spread some summer fun.
So every spring we do this flamingo event, and we ask people to sign up and flock their friend's yard, and the money that we raise through this supports our mission.
Flock a Friend is going on 6 years, and Executive Director Sarah Birch says it's growing every year and started out as an idea to raise money.
Yeah, we partner with House of Bounce a lot and with Pineapple Bliss, and they have been great partners in this event. And Shayla, the owner of House of Bounce, it was actually her idea several years ago to do this event.
This year's proceeds are going to help around 25 foster kids who are graduating from high school.
Some of them are going on to college, some of them are moving out independently on their own. We've got a few people going way off to New York City out of state for big things. So we just want to come together as a community and shower them with our love, show them our support, and help them as they kind of gain their independence.
When you flock a friend's or business's yard, the volunteers place flamingos in the yards and are guaranteed to stay in the yard for 24 hours, but sometimes they stay in for a little longer.
We call them our flamingo wranglers, and they are the folks that kind of help us, and they go out and put the birds in yards, and then they're the ones that go and pick them up.
Fostering Hope has 2 caring closet locations to help provide basic needs for children in foster care in Carl Junction and Sheldon, Missouri.
All right, thanks, Carrie. How long will this Flock a Friend fundraiser be going on?
So it's already started, and it will go until the end of June. So if you want the link to where to donate and flock a friend or business, you can go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, because the article is officially up.
Did they give you an idea of what the donation is to be able to flock someone's yard?
I did. I don't know honestly about that, but I can find that out and answer that next time.
Okay, we'll see you in about 30 minutes with that answer. All right, thanks, Carrie. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has awarded housing vouchers to the City of Pittsburgh's Public Housing Authority. Pittsburgh's Housing Authority was one of 62 agencies chosen by the HUD to receive 5 stability housing vouchers to reduce rural homelessness. And though the authority does not have the funding yet, the city is already making plans.
So this will be a significant impact for the community. It helps individuals or families that are facing homelessness, unsheltered homelessness. So it just gives the Pittsburgh Public Housing Authority another tool in our toolbox to help those that are in need.
5 stability vouchers are in addition to 15 emergency housing vouchers the Housing Authority received in July of 2021. Frank Fletcher Subaru in Pittsburgh is continuing its partnership with the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 States by making a big donation. On Wednesday, the dealership's employees presented a donation of $20,000 to the house. The money comes from last year's Subaru Share the Love event. When a new vehicle was purchased, the dealership would set aside money for a local charity. All that ended up totaling $20,000 to help families in need. And something one Subaru employee knows firsthand because her family was helped by the Ronald McDonald House.
You know, you can't be present when you have a whole lot of stress. So the fact that Ronald McDonald's comes in and just makes sure, okay, we don't want you to think about much. We want you to just think about your child that's in the hospital. You know, that was my focus because they helped me just focus on that alone.
Dealership has partnered with the Ronald McDonald House for 9 years and has raised more than $140,000. On Wednesday, the Care Partner Network hosted its 2nd annual summit, Strategically Growing Relationships. Officials say the event aims to strengthen existing relationships and foster new connections through keynote addresses and workshops. Wednesday's summit featured 2 new speakers as well as 8 workshops for participants to choose from.
My goal for today is that they walk away having strengthened a relationship that they maybe already had, or connecting with somebody that they've never met before, to be able to learn more about other agencies, to be able to make those connections so that we can better serve the community.
The Care Partner Network is a collaboration of over 70 regional community-based organizations that work together to address social determinants of health. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, the celebration may be short-lived as college graduates entering the workforce may have to deal with inflation and recession fears. We've got advice from an expert on how these young workers can gain control of their finances.
And we've got ourselves a bit of a foggy start and a chilly start for some of us across the area. We'll take another look at that forecast and tomorrow's rain chances. But first, here's another live look at some delicious food being grilled up by Chef Anthony right here at the KOAM studios. We'll be back.
In Consumer Watch this morning, Montana has become the first state to enact a complete ban on TikTok. The legislation is set to take effect in January. A TikTok spokesperson says the law infringes on First Amendment rights. The U.S. prohibits TikTok on federal government devices over concerns about the social media platform's ownership by the Chinese company ByteDance. San Francisco says Walgreens will pay the city nearly $230 million to settle a case over the pharmacy chain's distribution of opioids. According to San Francisco's city attorney, the settlement is the largest amount any city has received from a single company in opioid-related litigation. San Francisco had sought more than $8 billion. The company behind a popular fertility app must pay for leaking its health data. The app, known as Premom, has agreed to pay $200,000 in federal and state fines after authorities alleged it had shared users' personal health information for years without their consent. That includes sharing data with Google and 2 companies based in China. An 1,100-year-old Hebrew Bible is sold for $38 million. Sotheby's says it's one of the world's oldest surviving biblical manuscripts. The leather-bound, handwritten parchment volume contains a nearly complete Bible. It's being donated to a museum in Tel Aviv. Well, it is graduation season, and young adults are facing adulthood amid a looming potential U.S. debt default, high inflation, and ongoing recession fears. It can all seem daunting for new grads navigating how to gain control of their finances. From budgeting and negotiating salaries to adopting good money habits, one expert weighs in on how graduates can set themselves up for success. Shelley Molishi has more.
Graduation season is underway across the country, and young adults are entering the real world amid an uncertain U.S. economic outlook.
For current grads or recent grads, it's really important to make sure that you are not too intimidated by that.
Personal finance expert Julie Alma Taveras says a bit of planning now can help new grads gain control over their finances for life, and has these 5 money tips. Number 1, track expenses for at least 6 months to see your habits before creating a new budget.
It allows you to see, okay, where's my money actually going? So that I can then, after that period, really start to think about how do I want to strategize in terms of how I spend my money.
2, use the 50-20-30 method, where 50% of your paycheck pays for living expenses, 20% goes to your savings, and the last 30% is for things you enjoy. 3, learn to negotiate your salary. Research how much your role pays and advocate for yourself.
That's going to give you a really great start right from the beginning in terms of salary. That is only going to go up from there.
4, get health insurance coverage. Since many young adults are under their parents' policy, Taveras says this is a good time to shop around and get an individual policy that fits your needs and your budget. And finally, create a financial strategy that fits your short-term and long-term goals.
What is it that I want out of life? Do I really want to start saving now so that I could buy a home in the near future? Do I really want to just focus on investing for an early retirement, perhaps?
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at the fog tracker. We do have some patchy fog out there, and some of it in some locations is fairly dense, so do slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going. You can see that denser fog. We've got reports in Miami, Grove, Fort Scott, so make sure you are cautious out there. We are still watching tomorrow's thunderstorm chances. Today is looking to be a relatively good day, and then we head into tomorrow morning. We get some more much-needed rain in the area, starting about 5 a.m., entering into our western counties, and it will continue to spread through the area as the day progresses. And as we head into the there's been destruction in the studio. As we head into, this is why we can't have nice things, Gabe. Gabe's just hanging out. We'll see the possibility of a stray strong storm or two as we head into tomorrow afternoon. The possibility is relatively low, but you could see some small hail, some gusty winds, but otherwise just some general thunderstorms with some much needed rainfall out there across the region. And then those will start to move out of here as we head through the evening, which we can see on the 7 to 7 precipitation tracker. Best rain chances throughout the majority of the day. Then we head into the evening and they start to drop off relatively quickly. We've got the important business of birthdays and anniversaries to get down to if our studio is still standing. They're next. But first, we're going to see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, 6-time NFL Pro Bowler Brandon Marshall will talk with us about breaking stigmas by sharing his mental health journey. It's all part of our Wellness Week. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Thursday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we are going to begin in Iola with Kaylee Rutherford celebrating number 10. Happy birthday, Kaylee.
And up next, we've got Brianna Bunn turning 17 years old this year in Frontenac. She's a junior at Frontenac High School with love from your family.
And we've got Ella Tenley and Elena Sullivan. They're triplets celebrating number 16 in Frontenac. Ella is on the left, Tenley's in the middle, and Alana is on the right. Happy birthday.
All right, Kelsey Galindo turning 27 years old this year. She's on the left in this picture here in Weir, Kansas.
And then a very unique birthday celebration in Columbus. JD and Leslie Miner, their husband and wife, and they both share the same birthday. So a very happy birthday to JD and Leslie.
All right, our birthday list goes on. We have Sherry Nida down in Miami, Oklahoma. Happy birthday to you.
And we've got Kathy Swathwood in Columbus celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to all of you on our list. And we, of course, love to celebrate with you, don't we, Tanya?
That's right. If you've got a birthday or an anniversary, send them to this email, birthdays, don't forget the S, at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, while you're on our website checking out all of its really awesome features, make sure you check out the coolest feature of all, the KOAM Birthday Club. You get special deals from local businesses. You also get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So make sure you head over to KOAMnewsnow.com, sign up for that birthday club today. All right, we still got that patchy fog, some of it dense in some areas across the region. So do make sure you're slowing down out there, giving yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. See some of the denser fog being reported around Miami, Fort Scott, Chanute, Independence. So again, just be cautious out there, and you could run into dense fog patches, even in the areas that weren't necessarily reporting it. Now today is shaping up to be a pretty good day. We're going to have some partly to mostly cloudy skies and much warmer. Then we head to tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Here comes some more much needed rain chances. Showers and thunderstorms start spreading through the area as we go through the day on Friday. We could see again a strong storm or two in the afternoon, mainly southwest Missouri and northeast Oklahoma. It's a fairly limited chance for some maybe small hail, gusty winds, but otherwise just some general thunderstorms bringing much needed rain to the area. And these will clear out pretty quickly as we head into the evening, which we can see on the 7 to 7. Got those best rain chances, of course, for the majority of the day. We hit the evening, and they do begin to tank across the area. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good so far, seeing some sunshine out there. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, and that should help burn off some of this fog a little faster. And there you can see that fog now behind that box out there from our camera at 7th and range line. Great sunrise there, 56 this morning in Joplin, so it's a bit of a chilly start for us all today. 55 Iola, 57 Fort Scott, 55 Pittsburgh, 58 Chatopa, 57 Miami, and off to the east we got 56 Neosho, 55 Carthage, 53 Lamar and Nevada. So of course we're dealing with that patchy fog out there, and some of us may continue to deal with it over the next couple of hours. We'll otherwise have partly cloudy skies as we get our morning started. We're going to be a bit warmer by late morning as we've got temperatures pushing into the lower 70s by 11 this morning, which means we've got a much warmer day ahead of us. We'll talk more about that full forecast in just a moment. And coming up, when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14, Yana Hatala takes us to Miami, where a legal battle is taking place in the medicinal marijuana industry. In one corner of the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority claims paperwork issues brought on emergency layoffs. Local businesses in the other corner claim innocent people, not criminals, are being attacked. Being green really isn't easy when you join us for that story and a lot more on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 at 7 a.m.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The annual audit of Joplin's finances finds the city in compliance with regulations with no significant concerns. That was for the fiscal year that ended October 31st of 2021. It was the 32nd consecutive year the Government Finance Officers Association recognized Joplin with its highest recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. On Wednesday, the Care Partner Network hosted its second annual summit, Strategically Growing Relationships. Officials say the event aims to strengthen existing relationships and foster new connections through keynote addresses and workshops. Wednesday's summit featured 2 new speakers as well as 8 workshops for participants to choose from. This is the 6th year Friends of Fostering Hope of Southwest Missouri can flock a business or house. Volunteers place plastic flamingos in yards to show the support you're giving the organization. Fostering Hope of Southwest Missouri helps support and serve the local foster care community. Proceeds this year go to around 25 seniors in foster care and their graduation from high school. And a teacher in Baxter Springs, Kansas retires after 50 years of nurturing the minds of children. Vicki O'Neill has worked for Lincoln Elementary School her entire career, starting in 1973. She says stepping away from education won't be easy, but there's already some big retirement plans ahead of her. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we are looking at a pretty decent day ahead of us. Some partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, pushing highs near 80. We head into this evening. Not a bad evening initially. Clouds begin to increase as we head into the overnight. We drop back to a low right around 60. Then we see about 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. our thunderstorm chances increasing for us on Friday. That keeps us a little cooler. Temperatures upper 60s. Great day on Saturday for the Joplin Memorial Run, 4-State Farm Show, and anything else you need to get done this weekend. Not a bad start to next week as temperatures continue to warm, and then we see temperatures into the lower to mid 80s toward the end of next week with some additional much needed rain chances.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making stuffed chicken muffins in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Adriana Diaz sits down with Secret Service Agency Director Kim Cheadle for her first network interview since taking over 8 months ago. They met at the Secret Service's facility outside Washington, where Adriana got a taste of their high-octane training. That's next on CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we're headed back out to the Chef Anthony Grill kitchen, where he's putting the finishing touches on some barbecued burgers and brats.
Plus, we've got a story about a daughter who donates her liver to save the life of her mother. We'll have that when we switch over there, and that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.